Well, I'm interested to hear your take on salary, hourly rates. Do you think that that is going to increase because there's such demand to find talent? All the business owners that I talk to, finding staff is the most challenging part of their uh, to be successful. Do you see hourly rates going up, or do you think that based on so many restaurants closing down, that the supply is great and that things are going to stay unchanged?
That's a really good question, Tim. And it's when I talk with a lot of my colleagues in the industry about, um, I don't know. Obviously, so here in Virginia, the state minimum wage is going to go up, right? I'm not sure when that's going to be, but that will naturally kind of raise the rung of the ladder a few spots. So if the minimum wage goes up $2, then you can't pay the dishwasher the same amount that you're paying, a line cook. So they're going to have to come up $2 more as well. But that's been one of the big challenges over the last really half decade, especially as you have cities like New York and San Francisco that are just astronomically expensive to live in. Where how are you gonna populate these restaurants with food workers? I can go if I just need to make money, I can go work somewhere with benefits and normal hours, not have to work on Mother's Day or Easter and like a FedEx or something like that, where I don't really need any sort of formal education either. So I think it'll be. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, are you saying that the food culture is going to get worse then?
Well, I don't think it's going to get worse, but I think operators have to be really smart about, all right, this is what we're able to pay you in dollars and cents, because just because the minimum wage goes up doesn't mean that the cost to put the product out goes down or stays the same. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be now even less margin, right? And that's one of the challenges. So I think here's how much we can pay in dollars and cents, but then how else can we help you? So if you want to make a career out of this, how else can we use this time you have with us to advance you in your career? What are the skills and the tools that we can give you to get that next job that's maybe 2 more steps above the ladder? So maybe we bring in some really good seminars on wine, or we bring in the farmers to talk about the foods, and we give you more responsibilities, things like that are going to actually help someone connect more to the business. They're going to help somebody move forward. I had a boss that.
Are you able to use some of the grant money that's available? Do you think that restaurants should use that to increase what they can offer in terms of compensation, at least to get started? Until then, maybe they can gradually raise the prices on the menu?
Well, I mean, it's a good question, Tim. As I'm thinking about that, what if there's a way to incentivize? The problem, I think, with what you're saying, I like the idea of it, but then the problem I think you run into is, okay, now once this $40,000, let's say we get that much is out, and we're next year, can I still afford to pay you the same amount? Or maybe
there's a precedent set at that point.
Yeah, but maybe we can set up some sort of bonus structure where if you stay for this amount of time, it's more of a long-term thing. So, hey, if you starting now, we have this money we want to share with you guys. If you stay for 6 months, you're going to get $200. If you stay for a year, you get $500. You stay for and having something like that and you just kind of set this like an escrow account where you don't touch it, where maybe you invest it and makes a little bit of money, but you.
Am I hearing you saying though that because the potential in increased wage rates that's going to be mandatory is actually going to hurt these businesses even more, which could, sure. And but they're not. I don't think people are trying to screw their teammates either, right? I think it's just you have to look at things and say, this is what we can pay you. And then if there becomes this, mandation of, I'm just going to keep using it, this mandate of what we have to pay you, something's going to give, right? So it's going to be less employees, or the people who are buying are going to be buying, $17, single patty cheeseburgers, they're not going to be happy about that. And then that means they're going to go to the store and buy it. Like, I don't know what the answer is, but sometimes it seems like when this mandation of money is out there, it's actually going to screw up more things than actually help from what they think.
Well, I can tell you for me personally, like, with having a primary lunch type spot, the amount someone's willing to pay for lunch caps out at a certain point. The average business person would be around like $15 or so when you include like a meal and a drink, maybe a small tip. So the prices can only go so high. I can tell you, I hated seeing my cooks hustle out of work for us if they had to go work their night job and so they could take care of their family. It sucked. I mean, but like the numbers obviously don't lie, and they're always undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go pay $30 for a cheeseburger, like I said, and I think sometimes that's where these things are going towards.
Unless you create a really experiential experience.
Well, sure.
And that's where I think maybe things will go back to, but for the average place, they're going to offer good food, a good quality product, but nothing kind of crazy out of the.
Can I piggyback off that real quick, Tim? So do you think that the gig economy then, where people who have like 5 to 7 different careers of, let's say, 18% to equal a normal 100% is actually rolling into the food industry because of stuff like this? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if it is yet. I think it definitely could go that way. I mean, you can easily, the cool thing about the gig economy is you can pick up like 2 or 3 other side jobs. You can work if you want. You can clock in when you want. You make whatever money.
Not in the food restaurant, though. I mean, you can't just show up there, right?
I mean, like gig economy, like if you drive for Postmates or the produce, something like that. But you can do that on the side, work your own hours, plus have that you're going to get 25 hours at the restaurant, working, maybe making a decent amount, and that's what your career is. I think it's helpful to have some sort of career, or like, this is what I do.
My main thing.
5 or 6 different things where you're just kind of going through day to day. It's like the grind, the rat race. So, but yeah, I think a lot of food workers could tap into the gig economy, as I'm talking about, to help things out.
No, I think that it's just it's interesting how all this could play out in the sense of margins are obviously a lot higher for takeout. Maybe restaurants are going to continue to push the takeout because at the end of the day, you only can turn so many tables.
Are they though? Are margins higher in takeout?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when you consider,
because you don't have that overhead of the employee.
Well, when you consider
you can scale it a lot more.
Right.
Because
one of the attractive things about a ghost kitchen or something like that is that I can operate with 600 square feet of space. I don't have to have a dining room or anything like that. I have 3 employees. I don't have all the overheads. So really what you want to be calculating if you're a restaurant owner now moving forward is, okay, we have this dining room. We have all this back house space for the kitchen and everything. What is our cost per square foot? Or what are our sales per square foot? And really thinking about that way. So how can we tap into these different areas of delivery, takeout, maybe catering, and having there's 3 types of kind of promotions you want to look at. How can we get new customers? How can we get the customers to come back more frequently? And how can we get them to spend more once they do come in?
As someone who's been directly involved within the startup community for almost a decade, I want to talk to you about a serious pain point. Spending a ton of time trying to understand the business landscape in the 757. That's time that should be focused on growing the business. At StartWheel, we're here to help you by compiling all of the news you need to know about in one place. Now there's no need to search multiple websites. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.